you. Senator Blunt Rochester.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you so much to the witnesses. I have to say, most of my colleagues have noted that we are at a critical juncture for aviation safety for the sake of our families, our constituents, the flying public, and we must ensure that the FAA is equipped with every tool necessary to meet the mission to provide the safest, most efficient aerospace system in the world. We know that we have seen some recent catastrophic incidents and near misses, and they have only underscored the urgency of strengthening oversight, improving coordination, and updating equipment, including the FAA's IT systems. But we can't lose sight of the fact that there are other significant variables that drive this crisis, like the lack of a robust and well-supported aviation workforce. I just left another hearing where one of the nominees said that their son is now an air traffic controller, and that was some good news to hear. And as the former Secretary of Labor in the state of Delaware, I also was head of state personnel, and I know that a well-prepared workforce is really the lifeblood of any organization. So I was pleased to see the inclusion of the aviation workforce development provisions in the reauthorization. And I wanted to just ask some questions about workforce planning. We know that we have an issue beyond air traffic controllers and aviation safety inspectors. And I was curious if you could talk a little bit about your workforce planning. I know in your testimony, it says we are reviewing our hiring, training, and placement processes, as well as the FAA Academy withdrawals and failures to ensure our selection methods effectively identify candidates best suited for the controller profession. So could you talk to me about what you're seeing in terms of people who are retiring, resigning? Where are your shortfalls? Where are those areas where you really need the help?
Thank you for the question. If you're all right, can I take this one? Okay. As far as recruitment for our best and our brightest, right now, our academy success rate is not where we would like it to be. We would like it to be much, much higher. Because quite honestly, if we're washing out 35% or 30%, we need to do better because we need more of those people in the field facilities to do that. So I believe what you're referring to is what we call an air traffic skills assessment, and that's basically judges somebody's ability, cognitive skills and ability to multitask being an air traffic controller. And we want to review that ATSA test to make sure that it's identifying the right candidates that would have a high probability of success to be an air traffic controller. It does take some time to hire, select, and go through the medical process and the security process. Even though Secretary Duffy has done some things to speed that along, we still want to make sure that those selections have a higher rate of success. If we were able to gain another 200 or 300 of those candidates and put them in the air traffic system, that would help with some of our staffing shortfalls. In speaking with a lot of my friends who are my age, we actually went through training together at field facilities, and they still love the job. They love being an air traffic controller. Their big thing right now is we need more staffing because they're getting tired, and I think we owe them a better quality of life. I do feel that the new CRWG numbers that with the help or our partnership with NACA that we've implemented is definitely going to help that. And we're also awaiting for the Transportation Research Board to provide their recommendations for our staffing model. And when that's implemented, we'll be in a better place. But the good news is with the new CRWG numbers, that's going to bridge that shortfall, and we're putting enough people in the pipeline to actually give those controllers and those managers that better quality of life that I'm speaking to.
Thank you. Also in your testimony, you talked about leveraging partnerships and with approved colleges and universities. Delaware State University has an incredible aviation program. Can you talk to us a little bit about who you are leveraging these partnerships with?
Right now we're willing to leverage and partner with any university that has interest in the Collegiate Training Initiative. And if they want to take it one step further and do what we call the enhanced Collegiate Training Initiative. That's where they have simulation training and enough of the training that would essentially equal to what they would get at our FAA Academy. If colleges are wishing to do that, we will go assess, and if they do pass those standards, we will actually accredit them, and students who go through this program will no longer have to go through the academy. If they go through the program and successfully complete it and pass an ATSA test and, of course, receive the necessary medical clearance and the necessary security clearance, then they bypass the academy and they're placed at an FAA facility.
So for the record, questions for the record will be, number one, would love to understand what what are the partnerships? Would love to see the list of the partnerships. Secondly, would love to follow up with the program that we have at Delaware State University. Again, it's an aviation program, which I think is really, really important. And lastly, understand a little bit more why, how are you getting them in the door? What are the things that are getting them? I know you mentioned financial incentives, but also mentioned that there are more creative things that you're doing here. So would love to follow up with you on the workforce aspect of it as well. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for your patience, and I yield back.